Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a full face of Maybelline makeup. I'm so excited. I've been planning my products for this video for a week or so and I'm excited to do a full face of this brand. I'm going to try to start incorporating more full face brands into my channel, especially drugstore brands. Really been into trying out new drugstore products lately, trying to find dupes and find the very best products for you. So today we're focusing on Maybelline. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I am posting every day in December. So I hope you'll subscribe and let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get started, I do have a little bit of color corrector on under my eyes already because Maybelline does not really make a color corrector other than the Age Rewind in the brightener shade. I thought about buying that, but I have tried that in the past and it doesn't work for me. It's too light. My darkness is too deep for the brightener. It just makes my under eyes look gray because the darkness shines through. So I didn't buy it because I knew I wouldn't use it and I just felt like it was a waste. So I did go ahead and apply some corrector and everything else should be from Maybelline. So I'm really excited and let's get into it. So for foundation, I wanted to use this one. I've always been kind of curious about it and I decided to go with this for this video, and it's the Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation. So I have two shades. I have the shade 60 and the shade 20. I'm going to test this out on my neck maybe and see. I think I'm gonna have to mix the two because I think 20 is too light and 60 is too dark. I might do 60 and just like a tiny bit of 20 just to lighten it up a little bit. I don't know a whole lot about this foundation other than one of my favorite makeup artists who I talk about all the time, Kelly Ann, over on Instagram. She is always talking about how she loves this one from the drugstore and I have never tried it. So I decided we'd go with this. I know they do they have the Fit Me foundations. I've never tried those either. So I don't know, maybe I'll try those in the future. But I figured today we'll go with the Dream Radiant. The one thing I will say about this one, just based on when I was shopping for a shade, the shade range on this is not good. I don't know why, because I feel like the Fit Me shade ranges are pretty good, but this particular foundation, the shade range is kind of not the best. I'm gonna use this one from Smashbox. I am running out of brushes. I've been filming so much that it's definitely time to wash my brushes. And I'm planning to do that later today, but like I said, there's just not enough hours in the day. I didn't end up getting a primer from Maybelline. I don't know, there wasn't really one that like stood out to me. So I don't have on a primer today. I just figured I'll do it with just my skincare underneath and see what we think. So here is the foundation blended out. The color is good when I have this self tan on. I definitely think 60 will be too dark when I don't have it on. 20 might be a little bit light on its own. I don't know, but for right now, this color is fine. And it looks pretty, you guys. It's definitely radiant looking, but it's not as radiant as I was thinking it was going to be. It doesn't look glowy. It just has like a little bit of radiance to it, but nothing. It's not a dewy foundation, in my opinion, just based on what I'm seeing. I would say definitely agree with medium coverage. I think that's what it says on here. Hyaluronic acid and collagen. Let's see. Yeah, medium coverage with a radiant finish. Yeah, I would agree. It's radiant, not super dewy or glowy. I've been trying, oh yeah, up close it actually looks really good. Okay, yeah, you guys, that looks very good up close. It looks very natural. It's not accentuating any pores on my face. The older I get, the more I notice with certain foundations, I'll notice it a little bit more, like right here in this area. But this one is not. It's laying really nicely over the top, and we didn't even use a primer. All right, moving on to concealer. I got the Age Rewind, very much a classic Maybelline product. I've tried this before, but it's been years ago. I was not a huge fan of it years ago when I tried it. It was fine. I remember thinking it didn't give a lot of coverage, which is interesting because I was looking at the packaging and it says medium to full coverage. The concealer I remember was definitely not a medium, definitely not a full coverage. So that's kind of interesting. I'm curious to see how I'll feel about it now. So I got the shade 121, and I think this is a new shade for them. I was trying to look up online when I was buying this stuff to try to get the best shades. And this one, I believe, was one up from the shade Light, and I want to say it was called Light Honey 121. Okay, it looks like this is kind of a peachy shade, which could be good for me. So that is it right there. Again, I don't really love swiping things on, but I know that's how you're supposed to use this. So I'm just gonna kind of tap it. So let me know if you like this concealer. I know a lot of people absolutely love it. I mean, it's been years since I've tried it. All right, I'm gonna let it sit for just a minute before we start blending. I'm gonna blend though with the BK Beauty 110, which is their new concealer brush. So they also have the Fit Me concealer from Maybelline. I've tried that also in the past, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. For me though, I feel like with drugstore products, it's more about finding a shade that works. Because sometimes, depending on the product, the shade range is just not great on a lot of drugstore products. And with something like concealer, you got to get the shade right, in my opinion. Otherwise, you're probably not going to love it. All right, so there it is. I think the color is pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good, you guys. Not bad. Definitely like this color better than the shade Light from what I remember. So I'm glad I went with this color for sure. I applied a good bit, I feel like, and I just don't see how you're gonna get this to a full coverage. Maybe, because I have color corrector on underneath and I still feel like it's like barely getting to medium coverage to me. I'm gonna see what happens actually if I apply a little bit more with my finger. And I'm just gonna lightly tap that in also. I mean, I think it is buildable, I would say. It looked like it added a little bit of coverage like right here when I added that just now. I just don't know about it getting all the way to full coverage, but looks better than I remember, and I'm betting that's probably from the shade. I'm just gonna tap over it really quickly with a sponge. Before we move on, I am gonna take a little bit of the concealer and I'm just gonna add it right here. Something else that's kind of tricky about these sponge tip applicators is the product doesn't come out evenly. So I feel like when you dot it on, you're not getting like even dots of product because it comes out in different areas in the sponge. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use that same foundation brush and just tap this in. Yeah, so that color is blending in to my skin tone really well. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy that they have expanded the shade range. That's good for sure. I'm really disappointed because I planned on using this as a bronzer, so a deeper shade of the Age Rewind, but it's so hard when you can't swatch or see anything, like how it actually looks. And I just tested this color out and this is like straight up orange. There's no way I can use this. It will ruin the whole makeup. It just looks orange and I really don't want to ruin. I mean, like, look at that. That looks like pumpkin orange to me. Yeah, so that is gonna go back. I'm not gonna use that. I was hoping to use that first, and then I do have a Fit Me powder in a darker shade. I was gonna use that to set it, but we're just gonna have to go with just the darker powder as bronzer, because I just know that's not gonna work. Since we're not gonna use cream bronzers or cream blush, I am going to go ahead and powder my face with the Maybelline translucent powder. I've been using this for quite a while and I really like it. So this is not a new product. This foundation looks good, you guys. I don't know what's going on with foundations, but I tried another drugstore foundation yesterday and I don't know if you will have seen that video or not. When this one goes up, you probably will have already seen it. But I tried the Neutrogena liquid makeup, just the classic one in the bottle with no pump, and I really, really liked that a lot. So I feel like I found some really good drugstore stuff, but I'm just gonna lightly set my face with powder just so the powder, bronzer, and blush aren't patchy. For the bronzer, I got the same powder, but in the shade 320, which is Natural Tan. And hopefully this is okay. This color does not look to be orangey. Hopefully it's fine. Hopefully it's dark enough. I don't know. I see people using like a deeper shade of concealer to bronze and powder all the time, but it's kind of hard to get the color right. So I'm going to take this brush from BK Beauty. It's a new one. It's the 111. It's a smaller, more dense bronzer brush or blush. But I'm just going to tap this on. Ooh, 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 ooh. Maybe this is going to be a good shade since I messed up with the concealer. Ooh, yeah, you guys, I think this might be a good shade. It's just so hard when you're using like a complexion product, but you need it deeper than what you would buy for your skin tone. It's just really hard to get the shade right. This one, when I was looking, looked to be a pretty neutral color. And now that I'm applying it, I think that is accurate. I've tried the Maybelline City Bronzer before, and I think I had the shade medium. I didn't love that shade for me. I probably need to get it and try shade 100. Ooh, you guys, I have a feeling this is gonna be a new favorite for bronzer, which is so crazy since it's just a face powder. But what do you think? Don't you think that color is good? Another brush from BK Beauty that is amazing. That's from the new 9-piece set. And you can also get just the face brushes. So you can get this and this. These two come in the face set, as well as this one, which I've been using for cream bronzer, and a few more that are around here somewhere. But I love the face brushes. So if you've been thinking about it, I absolutely think they're worth it. I've been using them so often. That bronzer or powder is good. Very good. So if you're around my skin tone, look into 320. For blush, I've been loving this and using this a ton lately. It's the Fit Me blush in the shade 20. It's a really, really beautiful mauve-y pink. Well, they actually call this color mauve, but look at this color, you guys. I'm telling you, if you like the kind of colors that I like, this is a beautiful blush. And it has just a tiny bit of radiance to it, but not like glitter or anything. It just has a little bit of a sheen to it. Kind of reminds me of like the Hourglass blushes or any of the blushes you have that are not like a flat matte, but they're not glittery. This one is really good. Actually, I love this blush so much. I probably should have gotten another shade because I keep using this one, but it's because I love it. All right, let's check in under my eyes and see. What's interesting is I didn't set under my eyes, but they look pretty matte under there, which is interesting. See, it says it's a moisturizing concealer. I don't know. It does not look moisturizing at all under my eyes, so I don't know about that. I guess I will just go ahead and add a little bit of powder. I think I'm just gonna get a little bit of the powder on the sponge. Okay, moving on to the eyebrows. I did get an eyebrow pencil from Maybelline. This is the Express Brow Ultra Slim Pencil. This I've never used before. But if you've been watching, you know I've been obsessed with the CoverGirl brow pencil. Lately, I just like don't want to use anything else, so I am excited to try this. Okay, so it looks like the CoverGirl one. It has a spoolie on one end. Yeah, it looks a lot like the CoverGirl one. Let me swatch it. This is shade Soft Brown. Looks a little warm, maybe. I have a little bit of e.l.f. brow lift in them. I didn't buy a brow gel just because I know I won't use it. Okay, it seems a little bit creamier to me than the CoverGirl pencil. Like less waxy, more like pigment initially. The color looks okay from here, like looking in the mirror, but I don't know. I'll have to look up close and see what I think. Definitely very easy to apply. Oh, I don't know, you guys. I thought it might be a little bit warm, but now looking at it up close, I think it looks okay. Yeah, I can tell when I'm making like these little lines, it's just got more pigment initially to it than the CoverGirl one. All right, you guys, another good brow pencil. That was very easy to use, and I actually like the color now that I'm looking at it. A little bit different from the CoverGirl, but very good. I'm telling you, the drugstore is where it's at for brow products, for me at least. I want to use a little bit of an eye primer, and then we'll move on to eyeshadow. I'm going to use the Milani eyeshadow primer. I don't think Maybelline makes one. I could be wrong, but I got this for another video that you've probably seen already. But I really liked this when I used it. Glad I finally got it because so many people have been telling me forever that I needed to try the Milani eye primer. For the eyes, I bought one of the shadow blocks. So these are new from Maybelline. They come in a bunch of shades. This one is North 3rd and Bedford Avenue. So they're all named after streets in New York City, which I love because I love New York City. So this one is obviously very neutral because, hello, I'm a neutral person. So we have like a creamy beige matte, a gold kind of shimmery shade, and a chocolate brown. So I'm gonna first go in with the beige matte that's on the top, and I have actually not seen anyone review these, so I know nothing about them. But I'm just gonna put this all over the lid and all the way up to the brow. I mean, I think it added like just the slightest bit of color, but not much. I used to have the Maybelline Nudes of New York palette. Now I wish I had kept it. I ended up decluttering it. It was a pretty good palette though, I will say, for a drugstore palette. I'm going to take that bronzer since I know that I like this color. So I'm going to go into this in Natural Tan, and I'm going to add this to the eyes as well in the crease. Wow, that powder is applying so beautifully in a darker color. I mean, I do this with my Dior Powder No Powder a lot. I have that in a darker shade and use it as bronzer, but that's the only one I've ever tried doing this with, but this works very well. These really remind me of the Kaja Beauty Bentos, except they're square instead of round. So I'm going to take the middle shade, which is just like a light champagne gold, and I'm going to tap this all over the lid. I'm kind of focusing it the most like right in the center, but then I'm kind of bringing it out and to the inner corner. It's pretty. I'm going to add a little bit more and see. It's a pretty, more of a metallic. It's not super wet looking, but it's nice. All right, let's do the other eye. So we've got a little bit of shimmer on the eyes, and now I want to use the dark brown in here. I'm not going to add a lot of it because I'm going to go in with a liquid liner. Add a little bit more than that. Okay, so it applies nicely, like it's not patchy, but it's not super dark. Even like going back in and adding more, it's pretty light, which is fine for me. I don't want it to be super dark since we're going to use liner. Pretty good. Not patchy, just not super dark. Add a little bit more over here. So that shimmer shade I put all over my lid. It's nice, it's not bad, but I wish it gave me just a little bit more oomph. You know what I mean? Like you can see it, but it's very, very subtle. And I tend to like more of a sparkly lid color. That's just me. But this is not bad, but not like blowing me away. I have a liquid liner. And this is the Hyper Easy Liquid Pen Eyeliner in the shade Pitch Brown. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to be really daring and go straight on my eye with this, or if I'm going to cheat basically and do my little wing first with the dark shadow and then go over it with the liner. That's the safe way to do it. Here it is. Let me open it and see. What the, oh, okay. So it's a very small, fine little tip. So that's good. Let me try it. Very dark. It almost looks black. I really want to master doing liquid liner really well, even without tracing it with a shadow first, but I just do not feel confident in that at all. Maybe I'll just be daring today and we'll just hope for the best. I'm not going to talk while I do this because this requires extreme concentration, so. Not bad. Not bad, you guys. This is a very user-friendly eyeliner, I can tell you right now, because it's very small, like the tip is very tiny. Not the best, but I feel like I did pretty good. But this eye, I normally can do better than this eye, so let's see if we can do it on the other side. You guys, I think I did really good. So I'm gonna stop here. One mistake I normally tend to make is I try too much to make them look exactly the same, and then I overdo it and I hate it. That is good. Okay, this is one of the easiest liners I've used. And the only thing I can think of is it's just small. It's not bulky. It's even very, like the barrel is very skinny. The tip of it is very skinny. And it's just very easy, very user-friendly. So I'm very proud of this. I did this with no cheating. I am gonna do a little bit on my bottom lash line, but not very much, as I normally don't. But I'm gonna take this little BK Beauty 210 brush. I'm gonna go into the bronzer and apply this under the eye. And then since I know this dark brown is not like crazy intense, I'm gonna take the dark brown with that same little pencil brush, like just a teeny tiny bit, and I'm gonna put this just on the outer corner. For mascara, I got a new fresh Lash Sensational, but I got the waterproof version. I have never tried a waterproof mascara, you guys, ever. And I know people swear by them and say they make your lashes, or they curl your lashes a lot better, and they hold the curl, so I'm curious to try it. I have used this mascara, the original regular version, and I love it. This is a great drugstore mascara, and I got the brownish black, I think. Yeah, brownish black. I wish this formula came in true brown. The Sky High does come in true brown. This one, I did not see it in true brown. It might come in it, and I just didn't see it. But let's try this out. I love the wand on this because it's curved, and it reminds me of Benefit Roller Lash, which is one of my all-time favorites. I'm gonna do a second coat. This mascara feels drier than I remember it being when it's a brand new tube, but could be just because I haven't had a fresh one in a while. So there is 2 coats. That mascara, it definitely does feel drier of a formula than I remember, but looks good, not clumpy at all. I like this mascara a lot. So let's do the other eye. I did actually apply a little bit of mascara on the bottom lash line. I don't know why, I don't normally, but I did. So I did do that, and now we're gonna move on to the lips. I have so many lip products. I have a lip liner. I have one of their Super Stay ink crayon pens. Oh, I also have the lifter glosses, of course, but I have 3 shades of these. Now, if you saw my other drugstore video, the holiday look, where I tried this out for the first time, I used the shade Cheeky. And these, they're not kidding when they tell you they last all day. I'm not kidding. I wore this. I didn't touch it up. I did nothing to it, and it stayed all day long. All day long. I'm not kidding. And it was very comfortable. I liked it so much that I went out and bought 2 more. So I'm trying to decide if I want to go neutral or if I want to be really crazy and do this red. I don't know. But first I'm going to line my lips with this. This is the Color Sensational lip liner in the shade Totally Toffee. It's a really pretty color. It's kind of a reddish brown. All right, now let's swatch these. So I got the shade Peachy number 15, which looks very, very pretty. So there is Peachy. It's a little, not quite as mauve-y as Cheeky, which is what I used the first time. And then this is the shade Wicked, number 50. This is like a true red. So we've got Maybelline They're both Maybelline. We have Wicked and Peachy. Oh, they both are so pretty. I'll go ahead and swatch the other one in case you're wondering. This is shade Cheeky. Okay, so there is Cheeky, Wicked, and Peachy. Oh, I'm getting kind of nervous about it though, because I'm not kidding. They're not joking when they say this is not coming off. Like, it's not coming off until you extensively wash your face, like with an oil or a cleansing balm. These are not moving. Should we do it? I wish you guys could speak to me through the camera. Okay, we're doing it. What is it you're supposed to do? Is that right? I don't know. I don't wear bold lips that often. Oh, that's a beautiful color though. So this formula is very thin, like super thin. It almost feels like a lip gloss, and it takes it a minute to kind of dry down, but when it does, it actually is very comfortable on the lips, which is very important for me because I'm not typically a liquid lip person. All right, you guys, this is the final look, and I want to quickly kind of go over my thoughts here, but overall, I just want to say I am very impressed with this. This is 2 drugstore videos in a row now that I've done, and I have been extremely impressed with a bunch of the products, but let's go through everything quickly. Okay. First up, the foundation. You guys, this foundation looks beautiful. Very nice, very natural, not cakey or heavy looking at all. The one thing I am noticing is it looks more matte. It looks very matte actually. And I didn't apply mattifying primer or anything underneath. I did my normal skincare. So the only thing I can think is it must be from powdering my face with the Fit Me powder all over, since we used powder, blush, and bronzer. So if I had used more of a cream bronzer or blush, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't look so matte, but it looks pretty matte. But however, I actually really love it. I think it looks really nice, a little bit different from what I normally go for. The concealer. I think I still feel the same, which is I like it. I don't love it. It's fine. It actually looks okay, even though I set it with that powder under my eyes. It's just not my favorite. It doesn't give the coverage that I like. Even with a pretty full coverage corrector underneath, I feel like it's still not super pigmented. So if you have a lot of darkness, I feel like it's just not going to do it. It's not going to give you full coverage. So that I definitely don't agree with. But it's not bad. Not bad, just not my personal favorite. Love the bronzer or the powder in shade 320. This is a beautiful, natural, not orange looking bronzer color if you're near my skin tone. I absolutely loved that. 10 out of 10. The powder is great. Very mattifying, as you can see, but it's beautiful. The blush I've been using for a while now, and I love it. The blush has a little bit of sheen to it, which I like since the face is pretty matte overall, but absolutely love this. I want to get more shades from Maybelline. Okay, the eyebrows. Very pleasantly surprised. The eyebrows look very good. Much better than I was thinking they were going to. For some reason, you know how I feel about that CoverGirl pencil. I love it, but this looks really nice as well. So love the brow pencil. We'll definitely keep using it. The eyeshadow is just okay. It's not bad. It's fine. I mean, it created a really nice, natural, neutral eye look. Maybe some of the other shade options would give me a little bit more of that oomph. Mainly what I mean is the shimmer shade I wish was just a little bit more impact. It gave a little more impact, if you know what I mean. But the shadows blended nicely. The brown was nice, just not super pigmented. So overall, I would say this is okay. The eyeliner. You guys, can you believe I did this liner without drawing it in with shadow first? I cannot. I'm so excited to have this. I'm going to keep practicing. That's kind of my goal right now, is to get better at liquid liner. So if you are also struggling, look into this one. The point is very tiny. It's very user-friendly. So look into this. Very impressed. The mascara I like. I knew I liked it though because I've tried it before. I'll let you know about the curl aspect if the waterproof helps with that. But I do like it. And okay, the lip, love the lip liner. I've had this for a while, so I knew that I liked it. It's a very creamy, pigmented formula, totally toffee. And the lip, you guys, I have to say I love this lip. I was a little nervous about it because I don't do red lips a ton, but I have to say I love the color and I love this formula from Maybelline, the vinyls. I'm not a liquid lip person. You guys know me. I'm a gloss and a lip liner kind of girl. But I love this, and I think it's perfect, especially for this time of year. So overall, this was a huge win. Loved a ton of these products. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you've tried Maybelline, what do you like from them? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you tomorrow for another video. Remember, simply be you.